is Coach Curator, and happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers. I decided to use this holiday to really just kind of share my journey as a mother and really hopefully encourage people that are kind of going through and dealing with situations in life where they feel like they can't see beyond. Hopefully, I can give you a ray of hope. I am Coach Curator, and I help power professionals avoid stress burnout by practicing self care. And so, I want to make this quick because I want to be long and drawn out, but I want to share the story with you of really how I became Coach Curator. I am a clinical social worker of over 25 years, and I've supervised a team of social workers. I've worked in ERs, on acute care psychiatric units. I mean, as it sounds, I'm dealing with a lot of crisis. So I was on the front line of just managing a lot of things. And I would like to say I was doing it in a spirit of excellence. At the same time, throughout most of those years, early on, I was a single mother of two children and just, high maintenance kids, very exuberant, high energy children. I don't know where they got that from, but for me, I took work seriously. I had about 4 to 5 jobs at any given time. I worked a full-time job, had several part-time or contract jobs, and I worked hard. I wanted my children to have a nice quality life, similar to what I had having a two-parent household. So I did all of those things, and for me, what ended up happening almost 4 years ago, my son, who was 21, died in a car accident. It was very sudden, very tragic. And let me just tell you, I'm generally an optimistic person and a positive person, but it literally took the wind out of my sail. And in June of 2016, there were just kind of a number of things back to back. Another of which was the Louisiana flood that happened. And let me tell you guys, it just took a lot for me to get my bearings. And how I ended up surviving was because really God gave me a blueprint, and it was how to just live life forward. And it was that I really, as a professional that was helping other people with their problems, I needed to start practicing a lot of what I was helping other people do. I needed to practice that for myself. And that's when I learned about how important self-care was. And it was even more prominent because I really got to spend about 2 weeks of really just one-on-one time with my son, because he lived in his own apartment. His truck was getting body work done to it. So I would wake up in the mornings and go pick him up from his apartment and take him to work, and we chatted. And one of the things he just kept telling me was like, Mom, you're always doing things for other people. You need to do some things for yourself. So on this Mother's Day, guys, I'm calling it Mo Better Mother's Day, because I can honestly say this is the third one that I've had since his transition. And you know what? I've been smiling all day, and I'm in a better headspace today. And it's because I practice my signature framework, the Silver Lining Self-Care Treatment Plan. Like I said, I didn't want to be long, but I want to share this with you guys because it has literally changed my life. When my son died, I had high blood pressure and was taking medication for it. But when I became intentional about my personal self-care, which is about self-love, affirmation, and gratitude. When I became intentional about doing those things, my health improved tremendously. Of course, I started watching my diet and eating healthy and healthier, and then also exercising. And I drink lots of water. Guys, I drink a lot of water. And this is how I have survived, by practicing the Silver Lining Self-Care Treatment Plan. So today, I want to encourage anybody that's just particularly dealing with a loss. Because I mean, while we are celebrating mothers, I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, I'm a Gigi, gorgeous grandmother, and I'm blessed to have both of my parents. I have my mother. I can, we're being quarantined right now, so I'm not able to spend that quality time I would love to with her today. But we're gonna make that up. I have a wonderful village. I have many loving family and friends. But even when you have all those things, when you deal with a traumatic loss, it's hard. And then I also have to respect that a lot of people are not um, able to cope the way I do. I've been given a lot of gifts though on my journey. First of which was, so many supernatural things have happened. I was off from work for a couple of weeks. I had really just started a job, but God incubated me in the perfect place that I needed to be for that season of life. But when I returned to work, you guys, I had been used to getting up early in the morning and getting Sterling to work, so he could be there for 5:30. So I would then loop back and I would sit in the parking lot of my job, and I didn't have to be there until 8, but I would really get there for like 6:30, and I would sit in the car. On the day that I actually returned after being on bereavement leave for 2 weeks, I still got there really early, and I sat in the car and I said, Lord, help me get through this day, because it was gonna be hard for me hearing people say, okay, are you okay? How are you doing? And it was like, just for me, I may have been doing a little bit better before that question came. But everybody's kind of different. So I was like, Lord, help me to deal with that. Help me make it through this day. And I opened my phone to social media on Facebook, and this was right at the start of when they were doing the memories. They started doing those memories, and you guys, I kid you not, on that day, that specific day, when that was my prayer request, on that particular day, the thing that popped up on social media was, it was the friendiversary, happy friendiversary for myself and Sterling. And it showed like a picture, like a collage of things that I tagged him in. And there was one thing that I had tagged him, my daughter, and my husband. And it was the scripture, and it was like a GIF that was, you are blessed of the Lord, and it kept like flashing lights. You are blessed of the Lord. And at the bottom, it was a scripture that said, every knee shall bow, every tongue confess, that Jesus Christ is Lord. And guys, I'm telling you, it just like, wow. It was a message. I felt like that was like a supernatural message from, one realm to this earthly realm, saying, look, you're going to be all right. I got you. I was able to make it through. So that's the first of which I wanted to share that little story. There are many, but I wanted to share the Silver Lining Self-Care Treatment Plan with you guys, because this is something that you can plug in to your life to help you cope with any challenge that comes your way. And guys, it's not foolproof. Every day isn't a perfect day, and there are things that I'm still trusting God to walk through victoriously. But I've met many successes in this almost 4 years. So this is how it starts. Self-care is an acronym. It's called the Silver Lining Self-Care Treatment Plan. It's kind of a play on words too, whereas people used to call him Sterling Silver, but we all know what the silver lining is. We need to search for the silver lining in the darkest clouds. So with this little blueprint, it's easier to do that. The first of which is S. You want to start off your day, your spiritual life. It sets the tone. So you want to start it off in prayer and dedication and some quiet time, so that you can fill up your cup. Fill up your cup so that you have enough good stuff in there, so that by the time you get out there into the world, you have some ammunition. And that's what I do. I wake up at 5 in the morning and I pray. I talk, and I listen. I try to get instructions, and my prayer is that I'm obedient. And so the next thing, you got the S. The E is, it has to be economical. Economical, meaning whatever that you're doing for self-care, it needs to not extend your reasonable budget because you don't want to create a hardship. My first Mother's Day was horrible. It was horrible. It was like the worst. But then I was invited by a friend to come spend time with her in Puerto Rico where she was working. She said, just get here. You guys, I mean, it was just the most wonderful trip. It was an escape. I spent that Mother's Day on the beautiful beach, one of the beautiful beaches of Puerto Rico, the whole entire day. It was just wonderful, and I got to escape. Like, the new scenery took my mind away, and it helped me create a better memory. But you know what? I can't always jet off to Puerto Rico when I'm having a bad day. So you want to make sure that whatever it is that you're doing for self-care, it has to not extend a reasonable budget. I mean, it could be something as simple as going sitting outside, looking up at the sky, or I mean, reading a good book, something that's going to be an escape from a dark mood or a feeling. All right, so L, it has to be limitless. Whatever it is that you're doing, you want it to be something that the more of it that you do, the better off you become. So it's not creating anything that's unhealthy or toxic for you. It's limitless. It's a self-care thing that you want to make you better off. So then you have F, it's focused. Focused on making you the priority. I hear people say, "Oh, well, I love helping people, so I go over here and I do that." That's not self-care. That's a caring, nice gesture of goodness. It's volunteer work. It's not self-care. It's giving out, pouring out. No, we're talking about it has to be something focused on you, filling you up. All right. C, it has to be something you consistently do. Steadfast, like as a way of life, not one of these on again, off again type of diet that some people do for their physical health. Your self-care is a mindset. Like, this day going forward, I'm focused on doing things that are going to help me to fill up my cup, keep my lantern full, so that I can serve others from a place of overflow. Okay. So then A, it has to be attainable, something that's for your own personality and your physical build. You can have two siblings that you know, are completely diabolically different. So you can't compare something that someone else does for self-care and it's fulfilling for them. You can't compare it to something that may be fulfilling for you, and it should not. It has to be something that that fits and suits your personality and your physical. But like, I one day aspired to jump out of a plane, and I want to get in shape. I want to climb mountains. So I need to be in a physical shape to do that. That would be a self-care for me. It might not be for you. I don't know. I want a motorcycle too, but like, my husband won't let me have one. He says I don't really drive that well with four wheels, so I can't have two, but that's a different story. So it has to be something attainable. Then R. I love R. R is like, I love them all, but R is one of my favorites. It has to be reflective, meaning it has to radiate an impactful quality that when others see it, it's like a positivity prompt. That thing that you're doing for self-care, it's so radiating that it prompts other people. It gets their attention in a positive way, and then they want to know more about it, or they see it's working for you, so then they want to do it. I love it. It's that thing that, okay, if your 5-year-old self was with you while you were doing it, would that be a good example for them? Okay. Or if you're a 5-year-old child, you know, so that kind of helps me censor a lot of my activities. So because I'm looking backwards now at some of the choices that I made, as a parent, and things that give me comfort even today. I think about how really I wasn't perfect, but I don't have regrets about some of the choices or decisions that I made, discipline wise, or being too hard, or being corny or goofy. Like, I used to make my children come home and tell me 3 things that good that happened during the day. I was trying to train their mind to seek out the good and notice that. Okay. So that R is, you want it to be reflective. You want to be a reflector. All right. Then the last one is E, the last, there's another E. But this one, it has to be enjoyable. It has to be something that's fun for you. I mean, fun as in the kind of fun where you're releasing endorphins. Because, you know, those are the hormones that are our good ones and that are produced, by our body and our brain. So we want to release those type of things, physical activity, whether it's dancing. I love to dance. I may not be the best dancer, but I love to dance. And it's good exercise. The more of it we do, our body welcomes it, and we do it on our level. So that's the Silver Lining Self-Care Treatment Plan. I wanted to introduce you guys today to the mindset. I have a mindset that I work hard. I work hard to keep this type of mindset because I know how it energizes me to keep going forward. And even on this journey, it's a day-to-day journey. I'm learning more about myself. I'm learning to love myself, flaws and all. And when I love myself, I can recognize what's the good things about me, the things that need work. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, but I look at where I've come from and what has been accomplished, and then I feel like, you know what? If I made it, look, if I'm still standing here today when I did not think I would make it after 2016 whipped me, I made it then, I can make it now. I can make it through whatever comes. And I can tell myself, yeah, it may not be easy, but it's doable. So I want to encourage you on this Mother's Day of 2020, with everything else that's going on, there is still victory in you. There's so much yet to accomplish. There's so much yet to enjoy. The abundant life. It's yours. That's our portion, just like health is our portion. So you guys, I enjoyed talking to you. I'm going to be back, with more things. I look forward to sharing with you on my journey. So this is my Mother's Day, a more better Mother's Day.